Secondly, pursuant to the resolutions that are passed, the devolution committee was supposed to visit Nyamira County Assembly. It did not indicate that Nyamira County Assembly was the one to visit the Senate. And therefore, let the concerned committee visit the County Assembly of Nyamira as resolved by the House and not otherwise. Next order. Let's make progress, honorable members. I've been very clear. I don't know why you're seeking point of clarification on that particular matter.
Order number 8, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 21st May 2025, afternoon sitting. Mover to reply.
The chairperson standing committee, this is the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025. The mover is the majority leader. You may proceed to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I was wondering whether I've been sacked without notice. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you. I have listened to colleagues the last 2 days, and I must say, Mr. Speaker, that there is hope for devolution. I am particularly impressed, Mr. Speaker, by the resolute nature in which each and every senator has addressed himself or herself with regard to division of revenue for 2025. Mr. Speaker, I am particularly impressed as well by the fact that everybody has vowed on the floor that 405 is not an option. I am equally happy, Mr. Speaker, by the work that has been done by our members of Budget and Finance Committee and the proposal that they have agreed to lead us as a House. Because, Mr. Speaker, we must take a decision as a House. We must ask ourselves whether, if devolution was to die, Mr. Speaker, on which side of the blame will we be? Will we just join the morning party, or we will stand guilty as charged together with those that will have brought devolution, Kenya's biggest glue that binds this country together, to its death? I must appreciate, Mr. Speaker, that I am acutely aware of the tight fiscal space that we find ourselves in as a country. That I know very much, and I have been consistent and clear. If you check the records of this House, Mr. Speaker, especially with regards to management of our economy and the biggest struggle that we find ourselves in, which is a debt distress, Mr. Speaker, you will find that I have been as clear as daylight, Mr. Speaker. When the motion was brought to this House about 5 or 6 years ago to increase our debt ceiling from 5 trillion to 10 trillion, I opposed that motion, Mr. Speaker. Moved by Senator Pogisio, seconded by Minority Leader then, Senator James Orengo, in this House, Mr. Speaker. And we predicted very well, because at that particular time, Mr. Speaker, I was a member of Budget and Finance Committee, that there will come a time where we will not be able to meet our financial obligations because of that kind of unchecked borrowing. We are now in that particular space, Mr. Speaker, where we are struggling to pay debt, and therefore we are told we must tighten our belts. I agree, tighten our belts we will, but you cannot begin tightening your belts from those that consumed the least, which is devolution. If it is tightening our belts, Mr. Speaker, then let us see that action commensurate with regards to the budget that is left with the national government, Mr. Speaker. And that is why senators have spoken and have said that 450 is a minimum, and that we are very clear about, Mr. Speaker. Our Committee on Budget and Finance has proposed 465. That is even better, Mr. Speaker. And because our colleagues in the National Assembly have told us that you have no business looking into the budget of the national government, Mr. Speaker, we have said, fine. We don't want to know what details entails therein. But at least give us 465, we take back to the 47 devolved units, then find the money to run your operations in the rest of the departments and state organs, Mr. Speaker. Because if somebody does not stand up for devolution, Mr. Speaker, devolution will be killed. And I wish, Mr. Speaker, Senator Moses Kajwang was here, because he walked out just maybe to attend to something when I was rising to speak. Because I said the other day, Mr. Speaker, that yes, we are concerned by the audit reports that continue to be brought to this House. And before the end of last session, members, if you recall, we hurriedly passed resolutions of about almost all the 47 county governments' audit reports, you know, because of an imposition of a timeline by the courts, Mr. Speaker. And we said we shall find time to revisit, to check on, Mr. Speaker, the operations of our specific county governments. That exercise needs to happen and happen now. I know, Mr. Speaker, that there are members of CPI, County Public Accounts Committee, that are in this House. I want to request them with a lot of humility that you must lead the exercise, because this is ordinarily your work. This is the work that this committee has, this House has charged you with the responsibility of, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that once we have done the battle and have brought the goods home, that they are used prudently for the improvement of the welfare of our citizens, Mr. Speaker. We went out to point, Mr. Speaker, if you recall that particular debate on that afternoon, and I do remember, Mr. Speaker, because I made a contribution just like all my colleague senators, Mr. Speaker, that there were certain glaring maladministration issues that were coming out distinctively clear in almost all the 47 county governments without fail, Mr. Speaker. The issue of minimal disposition of resources, Mr. Speaker, hardly 20%. Many counties are using up only 15 to 22% at the maximum, Mr. Speaker, towards actual development expenditure, Mr. Speaker. That means close to 80% is going to recurrent expenditure. That is not tenable. That cannot be viable, Mr. Speaker. And I want us to reflect on the speech made by Prime Minister Raila this morning, Mr. Speaker, in this House, about the journey of devolution and why we as a Senate must always stand and defend. It must be recalled, Mr. Speaker, that on those particular reports that we considered here as well, we were reminded that many of our county governments, I think 35, if I'm not wrong, out of 47 of our counties, were spending more than half the resources that we devolved, Mr. Speaker, on paying salaries. Surely, Mr. Speaker, then why should you want to be called a governor? Your name should be turned to Paymaster General, that you are just a salaries payment officer. If you are disposing more than half the shareable revenue that is due to your county, Mr. Speaker, to pay salaries alone. And I have said that this business, Mr. Speaker, of telling us that, oh, you know, in 2013, we inherited members of staff from the defunct municipal councils, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, we have to find ways of paying them. Surely, this is almost 15 years since that exercise happened. What is your contingency plan? And I want to tell you, members, if we wait that our county governors file that particular plan on the route to achieving the statutory 35%, Mr. Speaker, on spend on recurrent expenditure, Mr. Speaker, it will never happen. We are the ones who passed Regulation 25 of PFM, Mr. Speaker, on how much each county is supposed to spend. We are the ones that are charged with the mandate of enforcing it. I want to urge you, honorable members, particularly members of Budget and Finance Committee who brought us this wonderful report, that you must lead us in an exercise where we have a conversation and we sit down and pass regulations, Mr. Speaker, so that if a county government does not file a plan through which they aim or they head, you know, Mr. Speaker, prudent use of public resources is not an event. It is a process. There is a way through which you grow your numbers. If today you are at 47%, Senator Faki, because if I recall, that is the number that your county Mombasa was at, Governor Abdul Swamad must file before this House the plan that they have for the next 3, 4, 5, or even 6 years as a county government to move towards attainment of the statutory 35%. But if this year is 47, next year is 48, the year after that it becomes 50, surely even us as a House, aren't we complicit in the maladministration that is going on in our counties, Mr. Speaker? We have been reminded this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, that there are many, these initiatives that keep on popping up, collaborations between county government and national government. First of all, there were KIPES, Mr. Speaker. If you go and check what plans are being done by the county governments, you know, KIPE was conceptualized in Nairobi, and that's why we must move away from these plans that are conceptualized in the seed rooms here in Nairobi, but have no meaning or connection whatsoever with the challenges that people face in the village. If you go today to your county, youth leader Senator Oburu, and ask yourself, what is the plan that is being made to make sure that the KIPE that is being built in your county will actually be of service to the people of Siaya? Chances are there is absolutely nothing. And if you ask the governor, rightfully so, he will say, but I was not consulted. I was just told, give a matching fund of 250 million. And we too, we cannot plead innocence because we participated in passing a division of revenue that ensured that each county contributed 250 million. The same, I think with the exception of Nairobi. The same can be said about these, what are these community health promoters? Surely, if the only thing they earn is a salary, why does somebody need to keep that money at Ministry of Health here at Afya House instead of sending all that money? And we can calculate. We know what is a stipend. Why surely? What is this obsession that we have in our country with holding on to resources that you don't need, even people's salary? At least we know, even if you're looking for a kickback, Senator Eddy, there is no kickback in people's salary. At least send that one out. And therefore, good people, I want to ask of us that as we consider division of revenue, let us passionately fight and stand up for devolution. Because this is the last battalion of defense. If you let this country down, Mr. Speaker, there is no likelihood whatsoever that anybody will ever remember that there was need. We understand that there are challenges, Senator Mogeni. Devolution is not as popular as CDF. That is a fact. Nobody doesn't, it's not rocket science. And it's for obvious reasons. CDF is managed separately. And we must be able to learn, even us, and appreciate that what is it that has made CDF to be as popular as it is. Of course, is the fact that they don't utilize the level of human resource that we utilize in our counties. That is why 98% of that fund goes to actual budgetary programs, things that are tangible and people can see. You know, schools, and I don't know what, things that ordinary citizens would wish to identify with. But you know, when you're a county government and 50% of the 10 billion you receive is paying 3,000-4,000 people in a county of 1 million people, then people will say, wrap these things up, we don't want them. Therefore, part of defending devolution is to ensure that we make it work in the way that it was designed. And the way that it was designed is to make sure that people feel resources getting into their pockets. So I want to urge as colleagues, as we begin this conversation and the reawakening that we have, we must